And you mentioned reverence, which is the curriculum that you developed that is sort of, we call it like the emotional gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I find them to be very inseparable, the source and reverence.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, like, okay, so that the source opens up this kind of cavern of experience that you've shoved away for a long time. But it's like if you open the door to this thing and you don't know what to do with it or how to interface with it, or you don't have the strength to withstand the experience that comes back with that, then you have all this information about yourself, but you're kind of back where Robin Williams and Jeff Buckley are, like lost in the emotion of that experience.
Whereas in the source, it's hard for a person to be deeply authentic if they're inauthentic with themselves. And people who are inauthentic with themselves, the nature of being inauthentic with yourself is that you're blind to it. Otherwise, you'd be authentic with yourself and then you'd be sort of conning yourself on top of it.
Right.
But true self-inauthenticity is blindness. It's an incompletion. But with understanding this philosophically and opening these areas up, then what are the practices? What are the actual practical tools that allow you to, if you will, it's almost custom design. You might call it designer emotional states, designer emotional capacity, designer emotional transitions.
Yeah.
Not only how do you design them, but how do you practice them?
Right.
See, how do you become good at being angry? There's some people that are very good at being angry, and they practice it daily.
Right.
And the more they practice, the better they get.
Right.
But imagine if you could have a precise understanding of emotions and the dimensions of all those emotions, and to be able to practice them and to practice the different aspects of them and practice even the experience that leads to love.
It's just incredible, because I think when we first met and I first started studying the work that you produce, and just became a student of all the different exercises that you've developed and processes to build myself, I felt like I was in university for my soul. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't, I've always loved education, but I've never really had a lot of formalized education. I think we kind of share in that. But this felt like education in terms of like nothing intellectually firm. It was more like I was educating like my inner light or my spirit or whatever. I don't know what to call it.
I think, well, in a way, you mentioned we share in that. No, I think you were better than I was. I had a lot of formal education. I just didn't. I abused it. I didn't. No, I did complete it. I just didn't respect it the way maybe I could have. In some ways, I got some things from it that were very good, and in some ways, I think I didn't get things I could have gotten from it. So it's more I had the opportunity and the structure, whereas you didn't have that same structure.
That's true.
So you're better than I was at
I
that by
don't
far.
know about that.
Wiser.